Hi. Accident. Okay, let's begin. Wrong button. So, I'll read a quote as we begin. Volcanic activity is the result of tension between purpose and will, between what will be and what has been. So taking a moment to connect to what has been, the energy that an effort, money, time, whatever has been involved in living out, according to you, soul purpose. Really go into it. Really go into feeling the intensity of that, the nourishment of that, the rewardingness feel of that. And maybe it's been subtle or it's quite new, and maybe it's been quite a road already, years. Purpose. And to the best of your capacity, naming that purpose that you feel is the calling of you as a soul here in this incarnation. This is your piece in the puzzle. This is what you've incarnated for, to stand for. This is the flag you wave, the note you carry in sound, whether you're sleeping, doing the dishes, or however you're showing up. Purpose, soul purpose. Taking another minute. Feeling your whole being, your whole body, and beyond the physical body infused with that note. And it's maybe just to keep showing up as love. It doesn't have to be, anything more specific or grandiose. That is grand enough. So don't fall into any of the mind traps. Is that really a purpose? Is that big enough? Just go into it, feel it. Yeah. And now consider whether these past 2 years already of this testing and tension, crisis, other side of the same coin, initiatory process for us as humans, these past 2 years, consider what that has meant for you as a soul and for soul purpose. Has it involved actually coming into greater clarity or into greater shine, expression of soul purpose? Maybe it's been putting you in your place in a way that allows to go deeper into purpose. Maybe there's been also some testing around purpose. Is this really what I'm here for? Or, all of a sudden, all kinds of things get canceled. You can't travel. I don't know what else might be involved that is testing purpose. You can't go outside. You can't meet with others. How have the past 2 years created tension or testing around you as a soul and purpose? I really feel it. And it's probably a mixed bag. Maybe there's grief, there's fear, anger, confusion, disillusion. Allow yourself to actually feel. Maybe there's also so much more empowerment, expansion. Taking the next 2 minutes to go into it fully. One more minute. What else has this 2 years down already to this global initiation? What else has it meant for you as a soul and for soul purpose? Last minute. And now connecting to what have been your longings and your dreams for this year or next year, the trajectory, the path. Soul is pointing, purpose is pointing in a certain direction. And it's like, yeah, that and that and that and this person and that place. And yeah, what's involved in your soul's expression and your soul's soul purpose expression shine. Concretely, practically, if there is, connecting to that, maybe even naming it. This is part of the dream or the plan. This is what's going to happen or what I want to happen. I as a soul. And last minute, feeling the beauty, the love, the service, the nourishment in that for you and others, and possibly the planet or the mineral kingdom, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom. Last minute. And now connecting to the higher truth that we have no idea what the world will look like tomorrow, next week, next month. We never did. But now it's really blatant, obvious to most of us. And staying with that longing of expressing soul in whatever way you planned or plan. And also with the knowing that it may or may not happen. Some personal crisis may come around. Some restrictions. Staying with that tension. And this is really uncomfortable because we get a dose of it every day, but this is now doing it consciously. The two are grinding your personal soul's will, and then the something greater that we're a part of. And feel there generally, usually is some resistance. Some part of you resists, maybe not all. Sometimes it feels like all of me is resisting. That resistance that creates tension. Staying with that tension, that's the polishing of the diamond. I have this and that workshop lined up. I have this travel plans. I have these connections and longings. Another minute. What happens in your heart, in the core of your heart? What happens to your body? Does it contract and get all tense? Does it go numb? Staying with whatever the truth is. Staying with the tension. And feeling, staying with attention does not mean I stay like a middle rod. Feel. If there's grief there, if there's anger, there's frustration, there's like, no, not again, oh my God. Or there's like layers that are just being shed and a process of death, existential death that starts to happen. Honestly feel what this does to your being. Because pretending like we're just gonna Om Shanti it, it's just going to invite existence to throw more our way until we get real. So standing in that precipice and that edge between what has been and what will be, looking back at what has been, looking forward at the unknown, truly, of what will be. Feeling yourself on that edge. And while you're on that edge, what's the testing? What are the likely testings that come your way? Is it about surrender? Is it about acceptance? Is it about staying true to love? Is it about, what is it about? Or what are the different types of major testings you are likely to face on that edge, on that precipice between what has been and the unknown of what will be? Everybody's got their unique set of testings based on their karmas and their composition, constitution, race, etc. What's your unique cocktail? Name it loud enough to hear yourself recognize it so that it doesn't catch you by surprise tomorrow, tonight. If you're willing, name the testing just in a word or a phrase, or maybe there's 2 or 3. Getting it out there, crystallizing it. What's the testing you're likely to face in this precipice of what has been and what will be? Who knows what will be? Anyone?
For me, it came that am I able to hold the presence in the middle of the storm, in the middle of the tension?
Coming to greater love through brokenness.
Awareness of tactics that I create to remove myself from what is present.
So like this, each and every one of us will be tested. What is the testing at the precipice that you're likely to face? We will be tested. Did you want to say? So we will be tested whether we are able to name it right now or not. When we are in it, we will certainly say, yeah, this. Okay, so now here's where will comes in. The will to stand and withstand. Doesn't mean playing strong and like, until I break, pound me, not that. It's actually more like being like a bamboo and going with, what's coming, the tsunamis that hit, the earthquakes that create the tremor, the volcanic, cathartic energies. But am I willing to stay on this precipice? Am I willing to continue to stand here? Holding what's in my heart and knowing I have no idea. I am not in control, neither of myself, nor of others, nor of the world around me, nor of the planet, nor of the cosmos. But I am impacted by it now. Am I willing to stand and withstand that testing? Or am I going to just want to crawl up into a ball, which we all will from time to time, and stay there under some rock until things go back to normal, quote unquote. Of course, we'll all have our moments. We'll all be brought to our knees. But is there a willingness to stand and withstand? Connect to your truth. And there's no shame whatever it is, there's no shame. Just connect to your truth and just see if there's alignment. Is there alignment between body and soul? Or is there one part that's saying yes and another part saying no? Also happens. And if there is a yes, if there's a willingness to stand and withstand that pressure, that tension between what will be, what has been, and what is, then what needs to shift, fundamentally shift, like a cornerstone on which the rest of the house is built? What needs to shift in the body mind? You have the answer for your own body mind. What needs to fundamentally shift? In order to stand and withstand, in order to work with what will be, what has been, and what is. When you have it, that fundamental shift in the body mind, your own, naming it out loud enough for all of us to hear, hitting bullseye and letting that ripple through your being.
The body needs more pleasure. So much pleasure, it thinks it's going to explode. To hold more tension and to counterbalance it.
Anyone else? Hit bullseye and let the ripples move. Okay, there's a written comment. Going for my soul's will and God's will, despite the feeling and experience that there is no room on earth for the hugeness of it. Standing up for it anyway instead of giving up. What needs to shift is that it doesn't matter if there is no room for it, and shift that it can create the room for it. Beautiful, thank you. Anyone else?
For me, it's like shifting my willingness to wanting to be life and be a vessel for life more than wanting, desiring, and longing to be loved.
Okay, taking a deep breath, whatever the shift might be for you. And maybe you've been able to hit bullseye in these moments and maybe not, and maybe it'll come or it'll get more refined anyway. That's fine. But dare to name it instead of being the victim of circumstance, again in quotes. You know what needs to shift in your body and mind in order to stand and withstand. And what you don't know will be revealed to you. So it's a matter of recognizing. And now, the next step, recognizing all events over the past 2 years. We did that bit in the beginning when we look back over the past 2 years, how soul, expression, and purpose might have gone according to plan and might have not. All events, everything as that you have experienced and your loved ones have experienced, or that you know of that has been experienced, as an intelligent expression of love. The masks, the vaccines, the testing, literally tests, up your nose tests, the canceled flights, the dead relatives, partners, friends, the loss of job, income. And whatever else you have on that list. An intelligent expression of love. Not because I said so, not because it's the politically correct thing, which it probably isn't, and not because it's the love and light thing, but because there is a higher, much broader, wider, ancient that takes millennia to exhale, take one exhalation as opposed to a second, intelligence that is operating, that we are all a part of, but that we cannot see in our limited day-to-day perspective. It's like an ant trying to see what the condor sees. Am I willing, can I see all the events that have happened over the past 2 years? Or am I still bitching, griping? It's okay if I am. I still rage there or grieve. It's okay if there is. And can that still coexist with understanding it as an intelligent expression of love? Doesn't mean I don't feel, doesn't mean I don't grieve. Something greater than the small I needs to come online for me to be able to do that. That's the tension. And going beyond my little bubble, can I start to see all the events that have happened over the past 2 years? The mutations of the virus, the weather changes and extreme expression of winters, summers, rains, the volcanic eruptions recently, and whatever else you want to add to the list. All of it as intelligent love from an entity we are a part of. That's in a dynamic process of adjustment. It's going through a transition. That's way beyond our comprehension. Allow your heart to open to that. Not because, God forbid, this should all happen for some good reason, Otherwise, what's the meaning of life? No. From a deep knowing, as above, so below. I, Earth. And not only I, Earth, but I, solar system. I, these planets. I, these stars. Sun, the moon, the comets. I, one I. One group field. Not my tribe, not my family, not my religion, not my country, not even just limited to this planet. All of it going through a period of adjustment, of transition from one era to another. And we happen to be incarnated, chose to incarnate, lucky enough to witness it, to be part of it, to contribute to it. Recognizing that our karma and our destiny, individually and collectively, sits within this greater context. And realizing that the love, the intelligent love of this greater entity being, I, is utilizing this individuated expression, what I call my personal life, what I call my individual self. It's using that journey as a way to go through this transition. I may think, believe, or want to be able to create my own path. Again, staying in that edge of what has been, what is, and what will be. I, from this little self, I do not have control over what will be, or even what is, or ever had over what was, what has been. That doesn't mean I don't play a part. So aligning will now with planetary will, with this greater expression of intelligent love, aligning it. It is not my will as a soul or as a personality operating individually, hanging on a thread, disconnected giving my consent that I have a seat of will. Yes, yes, yes. Be in alignment with planetary will. And if it is not, to be put in my place. And that might mean all kinds of things happen or don't happen. And I can recognize it as love. And knowing that the tension will be between the purpose that I experience as the soul's note and planetary will. And going back to that tension and staying with it now that we've come full circle, staying with that. What emerges? What's the volcanic eruption that comes through when the tectonic plates kiss, caress each other? Between planetary will and soul purpose. How it impacts this body mind. And staying with what comes, the life force that comes through that tension. If this process is still working you, staying with it, otherwise letting it settle. Knowing that it will take time to unveil fully, to reveal its different layers through our being, through the more dense material plane. If there are any shares, the space is open. Thank you. It's been extremely powerful.
I am so happy that you recorded this. It feels like so much clarity came through, and it feels like if I ever forget, I can come back to this meditation to remember. I can feel the parts of me that are so afraid and don't understand how. And yet it feels closer than ever. It's closer than ever.
Going once, twice.
I had such hesitation to opening my eyes just at the end. It was like I didn't want to lose the bigness I felt of that, the collective I felt it so clearly and felt all of you as pieces of that, and yeah, I didn't want to open my eyes because I didn't want to lose that. But I think that's exactly the test. How can I maintain that while having my eyes open, while having personal experiences every day, every moment? How can I infuse that oneness, that I in everything and everyone, and not lose that? How can I, maintain both, and in order, for the sake of pure presence? It feels like that's what pure presence is. Thank you.
Thank you, those who are here live. I'm also glad I recorded this time. I'm gonna stay with this for a while longer, and whoever else wishes to, knowing that we are still connected in this group field, even if the cameras are not on. And even tomorrow, later on the week. because there's something we're building here. There are connections and threads and intimacy and love we are building here. And that is not severed by space and time.